Good evening, everyone. It's Friday night here in Sheffield, just after 6 o'clock, and we'll see what we can pick up. It's always a little bit sluggish in the summer, but the weather does compensate a little. I've already got my first 2 orders from a Vietnamese restaurant not far from here, but it's paying £11, I think. Hi there. So those two, 4232 and 178, yeah? Cheers. Cheers. Is there any broth in any of these, or?
Yeah, there's no. So that one is just one pot, and then this one's.
Okay.
This one's got a broth.
Okay. Just be a bit more careful with the brothy one. All right, let's get off to this first order. Not far, this one, just around the corner. And then the second one's quite a bit further away, so yeah, my hope is that the first order is the one with the broth in. So then I can ditch that, and then there's no chance of that spilling over the rest of the food or the bag. Oh man, this is one of the steepest roads in Sheffield. Not a great hill to be going up when you've got a load of brothy soup in your bag. This is where I'm kind of leaning forward a little bit, just to make sure that it is reasonably level. Oh great, now we've got to go up a cobbled street, which is a bloody nightmare. Maybe if I just turn left right here instead and go down this way. Yeah. The other road is heavily cobbled, and it's just like going after pothole basically. Quick look. Hi there, how are you?
Alright, thank you.
Just check this is the right one. 488. Yeah, that's your one, there you go. Thank you. Do you have the code? 60. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Alright, let's get off to this second order now. This one is a little bit of a distance. Looking at 4 miles here. But, I mean, it is £11. So, the only issue is that it's not really 4 miles, it's 9 miles when you think about it, because you've got to get back as well. Unless you can pick up some stuff when you're out in this place. And I know this place is a little bit out in the sticks, a place called Ooty Bridge. And unless I'm lucky, it's probably just going to be a long drive back. So the title of this video is based on a novel and film set in the 1960s in the north of England, looking at the gritty life of juvenile delinquents and the way that they're redeemed through long distance running. And by the way, this isn't one of those kind of YouTube videos which has been popping up in my feed a lot lately, even though I don't think I've ever specifically requested it or searched for it, of people talking to the camera saying how lonely they are and that they've got no friends. I do, I deeply sympathise and empathise, and in many ways share similar issues at my age and in my context in life. But, I feel that I'm just too emotionally superficial to share that with people. But instead, I just wanted to talk really more about the loneliness of the job. Because this is quite a kind of a solitary job. I think it's one of the things I like about this job is that, famously you don't have a boss, and you don't really have colleagues, and you are working for yourself. So when you start and finish work is entirely up to you. What orders you take or not take is entirely up to you, and that's a very appealing thing. I do like that about it. I do already have a first job, where a more traditional job where it's more of a 9 to 5 with working in offices and with colleagues. I'm not sure I necessarily wanted that duplicated in my sort of side hustle or second job. So I quite like the isolation. I like to be able to just stick on a podcast or stick on some music and just drive around delivering. Obviously it's social in the sense that you're meeting lots of people in restaurants and in people's houses, but obviously it's pretty superficial interactions you're having with them, and I'm okay with that. But I suppose I wanted to think about this really not in terms of me, but in terms of some of the other drivers and riders who are out there, and especially given what's gone on over the last few weeks with the riots and the treatment of a lot of immigrants and Muslims. Given that the vast majority of delivery drivers are people of colour, a lot of them probably are working here illegally, then this probably is a pretty scary, isolating job at the moment. And I've certainly had things shouted at me in certain parts of the city, on the assumption that I'm a immigrant or an illegal immigrant. I've had kids with hoodies on their bikes kind of chase after me, probably in jest, just as a bit of fun. But when it's dark and you're in a part of the city you don't know, that can be a bit worrying. And that's me as a white British male saying that I felt a bit, tense and anxious. God only knows what some of these drivers and riders feel when they're going out there. Especially late at night. A lot of these riders work until very late in the evening, and obviously in winter it gets dark very quickly as well. So you're very vulnerable at that point. And you read lots of different conflicting things, and I've read a few things on various forums about riders and drivers being attacked or shouted at or things thrown at them, and ample evidence of that. I know the claim is that, they're not paying taxes, or they're taking jobs that could be done by other people and things like that. And maybe some arguments there, but the reality is the taxes that these drivers pay would be so minimal, as I'm pretty sure would make a minor dent in terms of filling the coffers of the HMRC. I can't imagine many of them are earning much beyond 1,500 quid a month. Probably take off some expenses on top of that, some maintenance of the bike, etc. And also the fact that the vast majority of them are probably renting their account. Now, if you don't know what this means, Deliveroo and Uber Eats, and possibly Just Eats as well, I don't know, let you rent your account to someone else. It's really sort of this idea that you might, have your brother also use your account to do deliveries, or your friend or your son or something like that. The reality is it's a system that's massively open to exploitation, with people living here legally setting up the account and then essentially renting it for a specific amount of money every month or week or day to probably an illegal immigrant. So even the sort of 1,500 is probably an exaggeration, and it's probably considerably less. They probably, I don't know, around most 1,000 or something like that. So when you compare that to what the tax that certain corporations, businesses are not paying, I'm not sure that this is making a massive dent, and there's a cause for massive concern either. Hi there, how are you? Not too bad. There you go, thank you. Do you have your code? Say again? 92. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye bye. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. See, this is when serendipity hits. I got a local order from a co-op near this place and going a very short distance for £4, so that's a great start to the evening. Okay, let's get off to this co-op and get that order. So that's perfect. I think there was a £2 tip on the first order, so I've already made £13 in about half an hour, and now I'm going to make another £4 in probably 10 minutes, maybe even less. That's a nice brisk start to the evening. Definitely worth it. Like I said, you take a bit of a chance when you go out to these towns and villages outside the city centre, but it can actually be quite profitable. And we'll see if anything else pops up, because you know, you do one and then you get another one. Like I said, there may not be that many drivers out here. Somebody setting up something there? Is that like a... Interesting. Ooh, pigeon racing. Can't get any more northern than that, I tell you. Alright mate, it's 7955. I think it's just a bottle of wine as far as I know. Is that it? Okay, this one is literally half a mile away. It's just around the corner. Just actually got to sort of come back on myself to get to it. It's a one-way system. Now, my only concern here is this is one bottle of wine, and Deliveroo do like to do their kind of age verification checks to see if you do check people's age when you go to their house and they buy something like wine or beer or cigarettes. So, and it always concerns me when they buy just one item. If they buy a lot of items, you think, well, I can't believe this company's kind of funding this. But if it's just one item, you think, oh, okay, maybe Deliveroo are actually paying for this to do the check. So this is one of those ones where you kind of think, oh, you know, and if the person looks young, I think that's the thing they do, is they ask someone who looks quite young to do this. They are legal or above legal age for alcohol, but they then ask them to. So I do have to make sure I check the age on this one. Hi there, how are you?
Thank you.
Excuse us, anything I do have to ask? I'm really sorry, I have to ask to see your ID.
Oh, can I not just give you my date of birth?
Ideally, no. Do you have anything like driving license or passport or anything like that? Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right, don't worry.
Okay, cheers.
Bye.
Okay, let's have a little look at our earnings so far. I've only been out about half an hour, and we've already made £18. That's pretty good. The only problem now is I've got to go back into Sheffield, which is going to take a bit of time. And probably won't get much on the way, unless I'm lucky. But you never know. Been lucky so far. Oh, we're coming back past the pigeon guys again. I'll slow down a little bit, see if we can see them. You can see they've got their pigeons. Interesting. I don't think I've ever actually seen pigeon racing or any kind of pigeon flying before. I'm not from the north. Always something I associate with you know, I don't know, 40s, 50s, 60s. Didn't realise it still went on. That's beautiful. Sunset time, dusk time, blue skies. Green trees. Really, really beautiful. So yeah, coming back to what we were discussing a little bit earlier, you know, I think the other complaint, criticism levelled at you know, these delivery drivers, illegal immigrants, is that they're, you know, taking other people's jobs. Again, it's a tricky one to justify when you look at the makeup of the people actually doing this job. The vast majority of them are not white people of colour, however you want to describe them, and this is a job with an extremely low barrier to entry. Literally anyone can do it who has got a bike or a car or a moped. You know, if you've got a bike, you don't even have to pay any insurance. So, and yet very few of them actually do this work. And so you kind of ask yourself, well, whose job are they stealing exactly? Because this job is open to everyone. Uber Eats and Deliveroo are at least egalitarian in they give everyone the right to earn shitty wages, whatever colour, creed, nationality. If you want to work long hours and earn rubbish wages, you can do it. So when we talk about loneliness and isolation, I feel it must be really tough on some of these delivery drivers, if they're working here illegally or they're just a person of colour, to not only be sort of scraping a basic wage, but also possibly have to deal with physical and verbal assaults. Where is it going? I was going to Chapeltown. Shall I do it? Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Oh, I so sometimes wish I didn't do McDonald's, but there we go. They are going to pay me £8 to go all the way out to Chapeltown, which is about 4 miles. It's not far past where we just came from, to be honest. So again, there is the option of potentially getting another order when I'm out there. And we'll see what they're like in this McDonald's. The other ones always get really grumpy if you wear your helmet in there, and they always tell you have to take it off. I think it depends who's in on the day. If they've got a little kind of jobs worth manager in there, he'll force you to take it off. But if it's just a bored employee, they don't care.
Yes, 639.
Anybody waiting on 333 E3?
199.
I ain't got 199, I've got 3. 38744.
Okay, let's get going. We're going 5 miles to this one. Bit further than I was hoping, but it is still £8 and it will only take 12 minutes to get there. So again, we're looking at £26, just under an hour. Not bad at all. So you can kind of see the chaos there in McDonald's. They just stacked up all the orders. People are just coming in and grabbing whatever. I think this is when all this issue of sort of orders getting stolen and taken by other riders comes in. Alright, so we're back out into the countryside again. I seem to have been going out here a lot lately in the last couple of times I've come out. This is probably the 4th time I've come out to this part of the city. I mean, it's very pretty. In some ways quite uncomplicated. You're not having to manage one-way streets and traffic. It's just a nice smooth drive out there, smooth drive back. You know, got pretty countryside. Yeah, it's not so bad. Honestly though, I'm not sure I would order a McDonald's to come this far. God knows what state it's in once it gets there. I mean, I don't know how long it was sat there in McDonald's already waiting, finished cooking and just sat on the side there. It's not like a heated cabinet or anything, it's just a desk or whatever that it's sat on. Then add in this long drive. I don't think McDonald's is something you really want to reheat, so I mean, I'm happy to do the orders, but I personally wouldn't order from McDonald's. Hi there, how are you? You got that one, there's your first one, just wait for your second one. There you go. Do you have your
Number 65.
65, thank you so much. Oof, look at that. That's blinding. Okay, well, it's been a good 25 minutes now, I reckon. 25 minutes where I haven't got an order. Oh, speak of the devil, I've just got one. Okay, so I've just got this first order through. It took a good 20-25 minutes to get one. This is from a Thai restaurant. Three more minutes, no problem, thank you. I'll go outside and then I'll come back in, okay? Okay, it's quite warm in there, so nice to go outside and get some fresh air. So we've got a 3-minute wait for this one. Thank you so much, thank you. Okay, this is the kind of order you like. £3 for 0.3 miles. Alright, let's get to it. Shouldn't take long, literally 2 minutes. Hi there you go. 79. Thank you so much. Bye. Okay, that was a nice quick order. Literally 2 minutes for £3. So I'll now go back to where I just came from to see if there's anything else to pick up from that same street, which has lots of restaurants and supermarkets on it. So I'm just under 30 quid now in terms of earnings. It would be good to just get a bit more, maybe a couple more deliveries. Ooh. 2 orders to pick up. Oh yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Go back to my favourite restaurant, Pitafina. Got 8897 and 8434.